Hey everyone. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the big ideas for section 6.5. And we are continuing to look at binomial distributions. Now, if we're looking at a distribution, we need to think about the mean and the standard deviation of that distribution. Doesn't matter whether we're talking about a normal distribution or just a regular plain old probability distribution or a probability distribution that is binomial, which is a binomial distribution. In all of those cases, you need to be able to find the mean and the standard deviation for those distributions. For a binomial distribution, it basically just comes down to a couple formulas. The first formula is for the mean. So in order to find, once you recognize that something is a binomial distribution, in order to find the mean, you just take the number of trials times the probability of a success, which is n times p, the number of trials times the probability of a success. Now, I will also say that the notation for the mean can also be given as expected value, which would be, in this particular case, we could write it as e of, whoops, let's try that again, which could be written as e of x. So expected value is the same as mean. So keep that in mind. We never want to forget that. So there we go. There's the formula for finding the mean of a binomial distribution. Now, what if we're looking for the standard deviation? Well, for standard deviation, we have a different formula, and that formula is this. So here's our notation, the standard deviation of x, assuming that x is the name of the variable we are looking for. The standard deviation for a binomial distribution is the square root of n times p times 1 minus p, or the number of trials times the probability of a success times 1 minus the probability of a success. And this calculation right here will give you the standard deviation for a binomial distribution. One last thing that I want to point out, and that is this. If you are asked to give an interpretation of the mean or an interpretation of the standard deviation, make sure that you mention out of how many trials. Okay, that needs to be a part of your interpretation. So out of 10 trials or out of 50 trials, whatever it may be, that statement needs to be a part of your interpretation if you are asked to interpret the mean or the standard deviation of a binomial distribution. And that is it for the big ideas for section 6.5. Have a great day.